It's not totally unexpected that Starfield wasn't Game of the Year nominated, to be quite clear. I kind of expected it, especially when some of the outlets kind of started lowballing it and then nobody would stop talking about it. It's kind of clear that there's some backlash going on behind the scenes, to say the very least. And, it's very unfortunate. I feel bad for Bethesda. I feel bad for Microsoft. But, listen, I had a blast with the game. I'm sure that millions of other people did as well. Kind of surprising, but maybe not, is that Starfield didn't make the shortlist for Game of the Year, and nothing at Xbox did. So this is the thing that gets me a little bit hot under the collar. Not so much that Starfield wasn't nominated or whatever, but it's like the games that are nominated and that were nominated are, heavy sequel games, things that we've seen a million times before. This is why the industry continues to kind of go a certain way. Now, listen, don't get it confused. I think that this has been a tremendous year for gaming. I think there's been a lot of good games. But I think at some point, the industry has to award and reward some of these games that are taking a risk and just not go, okay, well, which game got the highest, the highest, Metacritic score, right? Because listen, I think Metacritic score does matter, right? I think it's important. It surely is. I think it's a good measurement of things, but it shouldn't be the ultimate measurement of, hey, is the game great or whatever. So, again, listen, I'm sure that this was probably well expected or whatever, but when you think about it, folks, the same people that are reviewing these games and the same outlets are the same ones that are pitching Game of the Year winners. So maybe it really shouldn't come as that huge of a surprise to people. I think that it's a little bit of a shame, but if you want to watch the show, still watch the show. I've seen some people say they're going to boycott or whatever, but listen, video games is in a tough spot as it is. Here we are in almost 2024, and people still have the stigma that all people that play video games are like these nerds that live in a basement and they have no lives or whatever, and it's just, that's not true anymore. So it's like the Video Game Awards is a nice little mainstream thing that we get now. So I would advise maybe against kind of doing that type of thing. But the nominations for the 2023 Video Games Awards are here. Jeff Keighley revealed the full list this afternoon as part of the stream on YouTube, including Game of the Year Award, which doesn't include Starfield, which, can't say I didn't expect. Instead, the full list of Game of the Year Awards in 2023 are Alan Wake 2, a sequel, Baldur's Gate 3, a sequel, Spider-Man 2, a sequel, Resident Evil 4, a sequel and a remake, Super Mario Bros. Wonder, which again is just Super Mario Brothers, like side-scrolling, and Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, yet another game uninspired in my opinion, to be quite clear about it. The same exact map as the last game, janky performance, again, Starfield is the least nominated for Best RPG at the Game Awards this year, but has extremely strong competition from Final Fantasy, Sea of Stars, Lies of P, and of course Baldur's Gate 3. Hi-Fi Rush is nominated in 5 categories: Best Art Direction, Best Score and Music, Best Audio Design, Innovation and Accessibility, Best Action Game, and Forza Motorsport is nominated in Innovation and Accessibility, and Best Sports and Racing Game. So, listen, I get it. There's going to be some Xbox fans that aren't happy about it. It's not the greatest news or whatever, but at the end of the day, I think we just have to kind of deal with the fact that there's always going to be some kind of discourse towards Xbox. And I know what somebody else might be thinking, oh, well, maybe their games just aren't that good. Listen, I don't know about that. I just think that at some point you have to look past the same old games over and over again. To me, Hi-Fi Rush belongs on the list, should be up there for Game of the Year. Maybe even more so than Starfield, but Starfield as a new IP probably should have been representing Game of the Year as well. It's just kind of weird to me when this kind of thing happens, and kind of a shame, to be honest with you, because we see the industry push the same games over and over and over again. So, it's unfortunate, and it's really sad to see. And at the same time, I think that a lot of people should probably look at this and just go, it kind of is what it is. But again, if they're just gonna kind of look at like a Metacritic score or whatever, then they did their job, what they should do, I guess. If you look at it, Baldur's Gate 3 in 96, Legend of Zelda 96, Resident Evil 4 93, Mario Brothers Wonder 92, Spider-Man 90, Alan Wake 2 87. I mean, I guess you're dipping into the 80s right there. But when you're looking on Twitter and you do see people see like Hi-Fi Rush trending, it's something new. So we didn't get that indie darling or that like game that could possibly be that darling game that somebody could go in and get. But, again, I think it's unfortunate, and I think that, probably there's some people out there, Xbox fans, that are like a little bit bummed by this. Clearly, I think probably Baldur's Gate is probably going to is probably going to win anyway, so it kind of is what it is. But again, I think we have to see how this kind of thing turns out, and it's not right to maybe snub everything having to do with the Game Awards, because one of these days I'm sure Microsoft will have this breakthrough. I don't know exactly when that day will be, but hopefully it's sooner rather than later. And that's the day I want to see. Listen, whatever, they didn't feel like Xbox games deserved anything this year, maybe next year, right? Although if GTA 6 comes out next year, they probably won't. They probably won't get anything kind of taken care of. But for me personally, I find it to be frustrating, but not like, oh my gosh, it's the end of the world, we're not going to be able to get, this Alan Wake game, it might beat it or whatever. It's like, listen, I'm sure that these games are fine. I'm sure it really kind of just comes down to, what other people are playing. I think probably the time of year that some of these games are coming out with. But again, we'll see what happens. I'm not shocked by this. I thought once Starfield started getting lesser scores and you started seeing like agendas being brought up and things like that, that we would see stuff like that. So it is unfortunate, but not completely unexpected. So with that being said, where do you guys stand on this? Are you still gonna watch the Game Awards? Are you still interested? Are you bummed out by this, by the fact that Xbox didn't get anything, basically for Game of the Year or anything like that, even though they had two strong contenders, in my opinion? Let me know down below. Thanks for watching. I'm Crap Gamer. This has been Crap Gamer Reviews. Rack 'em up. Crap Gamer out.